Here's something I've learned the hard way, and if you've been investing long enough, you probably have too. If you want to avoid a lot of hassle when you rent out a property, please keep watching to know the one thing you can do at the beginning of a tenancy which could make all the difference. If you haven't had this problem yet, consider this your warning. Always do a proper photo inventory at the start of a tenancy and get your tenant to sign a copy. Okay, you might be thinking, I always do an inventory anyway, or my managing agents always do an inventory for me. If that's the case, great, but I'd still make sure you're doing the inventory properly, and I'd definitely check exactly what your managing agent is doing and calling an inventory. Now, most of the time it probably doesn't matter. After all, most tenants are fine. They treat the place with respect and pay their rent on time. You may never need to rely on your inventory. But it only takes one not-so-good tenant to undo all that. And you won't know which tenant that's going to be from the references and the pre-tenancy checks. The reality is you often don't find out how bad things are until they're gone. Even in unfurnished properties, which most of my properties are, what you see during a tenancy is limited. Their furniture and belongings hide a lot. Scuffed walls, burns in the carpet, broken bath panels, things that either didn't show during inspections or were cleverly disguised. And when they leave, and their stuff goes with them, the real condition is suddenly on full display. I've had tenants repaint walls without permission, crack bath panels, leave bin bags full of rubbish inside the house, and plenty more. As an aside, what I have experienced from time to time is that a tenant will leave, but they won't tell you they're going. They just disappear, and they leave all their stuff behind. I don't know why, and I guess they have to start reaccumulating more stuff wherever they move to. But that's not the point. I've just had a tenant do exactly that, leave without notice and leave all their stuff behind. But first, let me show you what the property was like before she left. Here's what the property was like when the tenant was living in it. Not bad, eh? Tidy enough. Clean enough. But it's not like that now. I didn't even know she'd gone until my managing agent got a call from the police. They were trying to get access due to concern for the cats. Yes, she left 4 cats in the property. The cats were rescued, thankfully, but what they left behind was another story. The house was infested with fleas, which might be why she moved out. The pest exterminator had to give it 2 full treatments. There's cat excrement on the carpets, black bags full of rubbish inside and out, and the smell is something else entirely. It doesn't look so good now, does it? Hopefully it's just cosmetic. Not too much damage to the property itself, hopefully. We'll know more when we've had a chance to clear the property and see what we're dealing with. It'll take at least a serious clean and possibly new flooring to get it back into lettable condition and to get rid of the smell. Now yes, there's a deposit, but it won't come close to covering this. It won't cover the cost of clearing, cleaning and fumigating, let alone any repairs we uncover. And with capped deposits and the challenges of actually reclaiming anything meaningful from them, you're often left footing most of the bill. This is why you don't just hand over keys and hope for the best. You need two things at the start of a tenancy: a proper time-stamped photo inventory and a watertight tenancy agreement that covers things like pets. Even if you allow pets, and you may not have a choice soon, it needs to be with specific terms, preferably in writing, and with clear expectations around damage and cleaning. Because when pet-related issues go wrong, they can go very wrong. The photo inventory is your insurance policy. You should be taking wide shots and close-ups of every room: walls, floors, carpets, appliances, inside cupboards, inside the oven, under sinks, behind toilets. And if you've allowed pets, focus on things they're likely to damage: flooring, door frames, gardens, skirting boards. Make sure that all the photos are time-stamped or taken using a photo app that clearly logs the date. And store them securely, ideally backed up somewhere cloud-based. It's not about being suspicious. It's about being realistic. When damage happens, and it does, your inventory is often the only thing standing between you and a pointless dispute you're likely to lose. Remember, fair wear and tear is expected. That's things like carpets getting worn from regular use or paint fading over time. You can't claim for that. But damage is another matter: burns, cracks, repainted walls, or a deep clean level mess after a tenant leaves. You can claim for that, but only if you've got clear evidence. The golden rule is simple: was it worn out through normal use, or was it mistreated? That's the line. It's easy to skip this stuff when you're busy or the tenant seems trustworthy. But when it goes wrong, you won't just be annoyed with the tenant, you'll be annoyed at yourself for not taking half an hour to document the condition of your investment. So take the time, do it right, because once the damage is done, it's too late to start gathering evidence, and the costs land firmly in your lap. And if you're enjoying this video, then please don't forget to like, follow and subscribe. And please also come over to my website, thepropertyteacher.co.uk, that's thepropertyteacher.co.uk, where you'll find loads of resources, including free special reports, plus my very popular The Successful Property Investors Strategy Workshop, and the Successful Property Renovators Workshop.